Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for having me. Happy Friday, folks. Obviously, Fridays is Q&A days as well as a lot of other days for me on this channel and all of them things. So before I start, ignore the bottom. In fact, I'll cheat a bit. That's actually video content. I think it's actually about Aaron Ramsey. So that video should come out either before or by the time you're seeing this. So you've seen a little cheat. But these are all your questions. Like I said, thank you very much for the questions. No question is stupid. It's honestly appreciated, man. And if I've missed you out, I apologize. If you've ever thought of asking me a question and you thought people in the comments might talk nonsense or I might belittle you, I can assure you I will not belittle your comment because I don't know everything. And people in the comments, in my comments, you see we have some knowledgeable people. It's very rarely that you see trolling. There is a small amount to which they get rooted out, and who really cares about what them 50-year-old virgins think anyways? So cracking on, man. I have to praise Alf, man, because he has put a lot of good links in my videos about a whole range of stuff. He gives little books to read and things like that. You're a very good man, Alf, man. I've never met you, but you're a real guy. But you got a couple questions. Let's crack on. The FIFA 11 is a bit of a joke. The players are all creme de la creme, and who wouldn't want them in their team? But just how do they vote slash rank these players? Personally, bro, I don't know. I think people like you just said. I'm as baffed as you. I love Danny Alves, so I'm not gonna dig him out. But his inclusion is a bit questionable. The fact that Courtois is your goalkeeper of the year and he's not in the 11, it doesn't really make sense. So it's just a bunch of people, from players to officials to high-ranking back behind the scenes football men, just clearly voting for themselves in all these sort of things, or voting for their friends, better yet. You've also put two clubs up for sale. Dimitri, I can't say that last name, is impossible talks to sell to sell Monaco, sorry. Roman Abramovich is rumoured to have turned down an offer to sell Chelsea because he wants £3 billion. If you want my 2 pence on that, bro, just by reading that, forgive me if I'm wrong, but if the Monaco owner, sorry, is Russian, then I'd say there's a bit of a conspiracy going, because you're seeing that allegedly Roman Abramovich, he tried to set up shop and live temporarily in Switzerland. There was issues over that because of allegedly links to money laundering. If it's not Switzerland, I apologize, but it was a nation. If my man that owns Monaco is Russian as well, maybe he's going through the same problems that Abramovich finds himself with. So I'm not too sure. They're both attractive clubs. Whoever buys Monaco, I'm keen to see. Will they try Galacticos project? Will they keep doing this youth farm and sending them on for profits? Chelsea, you want to see where they're going, because it sounds mad to say they're stagnating because they won the league last year. 2 years ago, and they're doing well under Sarri, but they can probably kick on a bit as well and probably get some stability in the sense that they have a manager who does well and then he's out the door sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. You've also put, could Ozil slash and or Ramsey be sold in January? Well, probably Ramsey, if you look at current reports, should be sold in January. Get him out of the club. So thanks for your questions. Biggs has asked me, does Unarembe only shake hands when we win? I'm not too sure, bro. Not a clue in my humble opinion. Marble Halls asks, his shout to you, another consistent one in the Q&A and in general. Should former players like Tony Adams and Martin Keown be brought in as defensive coaches? As fans, we cannot know, but is Bold now getting a chance to coach the defence? To be honest, I would allow that on a general basis. You would want previous players to show their competency and stuff, but you look at Tony Adams, I've got a great respect for a man that's given me a lot of memories, and people way older than me more vivid memories, but that doesn't necessarily, just because you're a good player, don't mean you're a good coach. And Tony Adams, if you look at Granada and everywhere else, Portsmouth, he hasn't actually been a good coach. So there's no guarantee that he'll be able to necessarily transmit. It's the same as Maradona. He was a lovely footballer, but does his management record when he did manage show it? It doesn't always go hand in hand, but maybe I'm thinking a bit too deep. I would like to see as much former players as possible at the club, even though there's some here already, because it creates a sense of excellence if man know what the club means to them. So you're definitely on the right track. I definitely agree. Bold could be getting a chance to coach, but then you look at the reports and you look at training sessions and you see, Emre's right-hand man, doing a lot of the work. So I don't know. I do think Bold probably, without knowing, Bold probably got the shackles released a bit and given a bit more freedom. And because Unai is new to the squad and he's learning English and all of this, Steve Bold could act like a possible medium between the two, ensuring his messages have the same transmission and things like that. Because obviously he speaks in English and stuff, but his words might be lost in transmission, or maybe in his early days when he was learning English, certain calls he didn't have a clue what to say, so he might have asked Bold. All of this allows Bold a more avenue, but I'm looking a bit too deep into it, I assume, so I definitely think you're on the right track. Bellows asks, as you see, when we play 4-2-3-1, there is never balance. Is there any balance in any formation we play, my G? Ozil and Aubameyang are wingers. Ramsey's a poor 10. Czech is still a liability, and Iwobi has more use than Ramsey. What are your thoughts on the lineup so far? Any changes to be made? Personally, the only changes I'll probably look at, because we can't really buy anyone, Mustafi last 2-3 weeks, your position is under threat and Holding's kicking on. Mkhitaryan's done nothing wrong, neither has Ozil to me, but I do think that you've hit the nail on the head. We try to get too many creative sort of players, and when you add in Xhaka doesn't fall under creative player. Well, technically he's trying to build play and stuff, but there's too many men in the side whose strengths are going that way, and it's great when it works for us, but going backwards there's not enough stability. So I would probably 4-2-3-1 could work. Ideally I would still walk with that formation. My bias as a manager is to 4-3-3 anyways, and I'd actually consider implementing 3-5-2 in certain games. So yeah, my guy, but you're almost spot on there, man. Rax, another consistent one in this thing. Do you reckon it's ever too late for someone to make it as a professional footballer? No, it's never too late, my guy. It's actually never too late. I've seen men that have now that formerly played for Stevenage, played for Stevenage and moved up a level, and they're now 27 and they've been grinding in the non-league circuit. So it's never too late. The question is your hunger. Obviously, the older you get and the harder it becomes, and you actually need to be talented. There's no way escaping that. But I'd say it's never too late. It's down to how hungry you are. It is down to putting yourself into an environment where you can be seen, because I've seen many talented players, probably more talented than some of these Premier League footballers, but they weren't necessarily in places where scouts would see them, or they would be on the radar to big clubs. That's why you typically see a lot of posh kids. They made it as footballers not because they're good. It's they're at teams that are established, that have stability, that scouts and stuff of professional clubs know to go to have a look. Many people don't have that. So I'd never say it's too late. It's all about your hunger. You've also asked me, if you were a scout in an under-19s games, what things would you consider to look at? Well, if he's under-19s, anything from 17 to 19, you just want to look at the technical skills basically. But for me, it's more tactical. What is he doing as a winger, as a centre-half? What is he doing off the ball? It'd probably be more off the ball for them ages, my guy. Probably tactically understanding of the game. RP145 asks, have you read about George Green's story and what do you make of it? Bro, it's a sad story. It shows what a lack of real friends around you can do, what drugs and alcohol and having too much too soon can do. I mean, the man made a lot of money and now he's not got anything, but I'm happy to see he's battled. He has got stuff. I mean, he's got a great family, he's got his life, and I'm happy he's still playing professional football, and ultimately that he's still alive and he's managed to come clean off the booze and the drugs. So yeah, it's a terrible story, man, because he did have a lot of potential. I remember him very vividly. DNM9 asks, who is Miss Hurst and why do you hate her? She was a teacher that used to work in my school, and yeah, man, she just didn't have much time for her. But I hope she's doing alright. Main man Uber, I believe, asked, is there any under 21 forwards that have the making to be world class except Kylian? It's difficult to know that. Only the players themselves can put it down and put in the work and get to that level. But if you're asking me, top of my head, Gahori, his injuries shagged him a bit for Lyon. He looks a good striker. Timo Werner, he's gone a bit down in my own rank ratings personally after the World Cup. He's still got fantastic potential. And you guys know I love Arp, young Arp of Hamburg. He's very young, so we'll see where it goes for him. Movie and Football 101 asks, do you watch Dragon Ball? And who is your favourite character? Unfortunately, pardon me, I don't, my guy. I just don't. I'm not a big fan of anime, but big up you, innit, for the question. And Ushin another consistent one on Instagram as well. I'm on Instagram, people. Look in my description. She's asked, thank you for your question. Has Gabriel improved since leaving Arsenal? I watched the game of Villarreal versus Valencia, and there was also 3 former players on the field. If I'm honest, I haven't seen enough of Gabriel at Valencia to say if he's improved, but I strongly would doubt it. I think if anything, maybe La Liga he feels a bit more comfortable there. He knows the game a bit more. The tempo might suit his game more, or maybe he has improved, or he just feels a bit more confident and trusted. For me, he was a walking fire hazard essentially at Arsenal. He had some good games, but yeah. People, man, thank you for the Q&A questions. All I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you. It means a lot each and every time that you come with these questions. Please come with them again. Check out my other content. Comment if you wish. If you wish, like the vid. Either way, I'm out you guys' hair now. Guys, DG, I'm out. Oh, final question. Alps also asked, who do you think will come in for Nicolò Barella? I hope it's us. He plays for Caligari. If we're talking about the same man, he's a baller. I hope we go for him. In fact, I'm gonna do a video about him now. You've inspired the thing because I should have done this video a while ago, and he is someone I believe in and has actually been on my radar to watch this year. Thanks, guys. I'm out for real now. DG.